everyone, how are you doing? Happy Thursday. Hope you are doing great. Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. This is Petal. My goodness, Polo is ramping up. As you can see, this traditionally this is for you. I'm like nothing better than seeing Nacho and Prince Harry on horseback and also seeing the family there as well. But anyways, Polo season is here apparently. And obviously, we know that Polo is going to be opening on Netflix on December 10th. So that is coming up next month. And for that, and in celebration, I guess, of that, and before we had a little clip of it from Netflix, but now we have a full-on trailer, the official trailer that literally just dropped today. So it is posted in our community page. If you have not seen it, go there and see it. That is the official trailer. Harry is not in it. You see a little clip of Nacho, but there is at the beginning, I saw like somebody lacing up their boots, I guess, with a Sentibali shirt on. So I think that is Harry, even though he is not featured in this official trailer. But I would assume at some point in the series that Harry will pop up. Meghan might pop up as well. You might probably see Delphina there, but they are not the focus of the series. It's about a group of people vying for the title, the national championship in Florida. And of course, the last time we saw Harry and Meghan and Nacho and Delphina in Florida, the championship was going on there at the time when they were doing the polo match for Sintibale. So IndieWire has a story. I'll try to remember to link this on our community page, but it has a list of all the people that are going to be in there and a little bit of bio about them. So at least you'll get to see the men and women. Actually, it's a behind the scenes, fly on the wall look at the families and the athletes and how, all the ins and outs of winning a championship. And so it's great. So this is a little bit from the IndieWire article. So I'm going to move my little banner at the bottom there. So if you've not subscribed to our channel, go ahead and subscribe. Click the notification bell so that you know when we drop a video. Please like and share the video. And please join the channel. Help grow the channel. Support the channel. All of that wonderful stuff. So anyways, so this little clip is from the article from IndieWire. It says, Harry and Meghan executive produced a docu-series for their Archwell Productions, as does Chanel Pisnick, who was working with Harry and Meghan. Don't know if she's still with them, but she was part of the production team from Archwell. For Broadwalk Pictures, the EP are Andrew Freed, Diane Lilligard, and Serena Roma. Other executive producers are Milos Balish, Ian Samplin, and Natalie Warsaw. I may have butchered all their last names. Sorry. So this is a little statement from Prince Harry. He said, this series offers audience an unprecedented behind-the-scenes look into the passion and determination driving some of the world's elite polo players. We're proud to showcase the true depth and spirit of the sport and the intensity of its high-stakes moments. So it's about a 2-minute, I would say about a 2-minute trailer. So definitely jump over. And of course, this photo at the bottom is not part of the article. It's just me. Like, I just love seeing Prince Harry on a horseback. I don't know. He just takes the most amazing photos on a horseback. So that's just me. Just sort of stuck that picture in there. That's not part of the IndieWire article. But the top picture, obviously, with the trailer, then yes. It is also on YouTube. And again, it is in our community page. So definitely check out our community page and watch the trailer there. So very, very exciting. Will Harry and Meghan and Nacho and Delphina do promotions for this? I would hope that they would be out doing promo, or shame if they don't, because I want to see them out promoting stuff. They did not promote Harry and Meghan docuseries. They didn't promote Live to Lead. They didn't really promote, and for good reasons, I guess, because of the strike, the SAG strike last year. They didn't promote the Heart of Invictus, other than Prince Harry going to one military community in, I think it was in San Diego, I think it was. and was there for the screening. Other than that, he was not a part of promoting it. I know Gabe was a part of promoting it, and a couple of other people were part of promoting it. He wasn't a part of the promotion. So hopefully Prince Harry is going to be out there promoting this, and also with Nacho. I less expect to see Meghan. Hopefully she would be there. If they do like a premiere or anything like that, then I would see her being there with Delphina and others. But the crux of the promotion, I would expect to see Harry and Nacho. So they would be, you know, the huge faces, and also the other people as well who are a part of this. And Kiko Negrini, I think his last name, he was one of the kids that played. I think he was like 16 or 17 when they were playing a couple of years ago with Los Padres. And so he is also part of this documentary, I think, with his father. So I would expect maybe he could be a part of the promotion as well. So hopefully we'll see what Netflix does, but you know, hopefully they do something to promote it. But as so far today, all the major news outlets have picked it up and they are out there promoting it. So I haven't looked on Sussex.com, but they better have this on there. They just better have it. So I'm like cracking down on Sussex.com for not promoting their work. It's like, y'all doing this hard work, you need to promote it. You need to put your stuff on there. So hopefully, and again, I haven't gone over there, so I'm assuming, let me just, you know, think of the best and, you know, think that just think of the best. And so maybe it's on there already. And if it is, yay, Sussex.com. If not, boo. Yes. So anyways, so again, go to our community page if you haven't seen it and see the, and if you're on Netflix is promoting it also, so you'll probably see a post from them as well. So anyways, Nacho, yesterday was Delphina's birthday, talking about Nacho. And of course, that's his Nacho's lady love over there, and Miss Delphina Blecker. And so Nacho posted this: happy birthday, I love you every day, more to the moon. Oh, yeah, sorry, Church Nelly. But anyway, so Delphi was celebrating her birthday yesterday, and so happy birthday to her. And that's, of course, her in this photo. Again, the last time we saw them doing polo together, it was in Florida, and this was a photo of them in Florida, and Delphina obviously is in the red. And so I love the fact that it's so funny that the sort of like off, that tan color was sort of the color of the day. And I love that Delphina's like, I'm going to put that into some bright red. And so she's like, yes. So very cool. So happy birthday. I'm sure she had a fabulous time celebrating her birthday. And what else? Oh, this is so cool. Obviously, we're still on the Prince Harry's tattoo, or fake tattoo, as we all figured out by now. Just about every outlet, even amazingly enough, even some in the British press, actually most in the British press, absolutely love this little scene from Harry and Jelly Roll. And so they are very, very complimentary of it. They all thought it was very funny. Obviously, some people think it's tacky, you know, the ones who are pretending they've never seen a royal be this way, or pretending that royals they don't do stuff like this. But anyways, the majority of them seem to, at least the ones that I've seen on X, seem to enjoy it and thought it was very funny. Of course, they think it's very cheeky, as Harry's humor is. He's very irreverent in things. And so People Magazine, oh, wait, forgot to put the People Magazine logo on this, but this is actually from People Magazine. Sorry, People, I meant to have put your logo there so people know that this is where I got it. So crediting People Magazine for this. This is their investigative work. Says, behind the scenes of Prince Harry's tattoo parlor video. He got comedic chops, says the shop owner. He hasn't said no, and he definitely expressed a curiosity. That is Josh Lord, who owns the tattoo parlor. That's him in the bottom photo on the left with Harry there. And so he said Harry definitely hasn't said no, and he definitely expressed curiosity. The East Side owner, Josh Lord, exclusively tells People about the possibility of Harry getting a real tattoo. And so these are just little clips from the article. It says the artist behind the fake, yes, it is fake, is the fake tattoo, the fake ink, is Josh Lord. He's owner of Eastside Ink, who appears at the start of the video with Harry. And this is another clip. He actually said he didn't even expect to be featured that much in the video, and so he was surprised at how much he was featured there in the front, and he did a great job. And so, and just a little clip from the article. It says, absolutely, the person who was unexpectedly the funniest was Harry. He says, here we are in a room full of people who had seen some things, and they could tell you in a tattoo parlor the things they've seen. But Harry was probably the bravest and funniest of all of us, really. Behind the scenes, he's got comedic chops that I didn't expect. I'll tell you, Harry is a hilarious person. That's why I'm always saying he's a natural actor, very, very funny, great at improv. This man should have a show. And so, yeah, they were saying like, they were talking about all the different things they've seen, and he was just hilarious. And just everyone was like, wow. And also they also said like Josh made it such a safe space for everybody and such a welcoming that they said it was just so great to just be there with Harry and see just what a normal, regular guy he is, on top of really, really funny. But a little bit more about Josh and his shop. And it's so indicative of how Harry and Meghan work. They don't just do things with just any old random people. There's always a connection. And this is a little clip from the bottom. It says the cause, and this is Josh. They're talking about Josh and his shop. It says the cause is equally important to those at Eastside Ink. Lord, along with his partner Yadira Mendez Fervida and John Turban Hertel, is involved in the veteran-operated non-for-profit SAR flag, which is a suicide awareness and remembrance flag, which works to bring the stigma surrounding mental health, suicide, and seeking treatment within the veteran community, ultimately supporting suicide prevention effort for veterans and the military personnel. And so that's what the people at the store, like Josh and his partners, that's what they're about. So they are part of the military, the veteran community, and working with the nonprofit SAR. So again, it's not just some old random ink, tattoo parlor they picked. It's somebody within that community, within the New York veteran community. And it's just so wonderful. And of course, I had no idea until I read that article. I was like, oh, that is, and again, like, it just goes back to show that Harry and Meghan don't just do things willy-nilly. The Invictus Games, they just really thought through, and which is great, who they want to associate with and the kind of people that they associate with. And this is just so fantastic. And the same thing even with Jelly Roll, just seeing his music and how the depth of his music and even his background. We talked a little bit about the difficult life he had as a child and even being in and out of jail like numerous times, and then turning his life around. And his music is just so raw and real and just, ooh. Like one of his songs is like, I'm not okay. That's the name of the song. And that's what it was about. I'm not okay, but I'm going to be all right. And the depths of what not okay means is that song. It is just so awesome. And they're all so funny and did such a great job. So it is just wonderful. So I'll link the article. Link the article in our community page so you can take a read. It's a really, really cool article talking about it. But they all had a great time. Apparently, they only had like 2 hours. It just happened that Harry was in town and Jelly Roll was in town, and so Invictus Games presented this whole comedic thing to them, the scene to them, and they're like, okay, let's do it. They had like 2 hours to do it in New York. I guess Harry was, because right after that it seemed Harry went off to Southern Africa, and so they were there. They did it in a couple hours, and look at what turned out. It was just so great. And so everyone, it seemed, had a really, really great time. Thank you, people, for this article, even though I forgot your logo. But it's staying on Invictus. yesterday we talked about it, as Sussex.com posted, Harry went to visit the First Nations. And so we had a lot of photos of him visiting the different First Nations. And so there was this one picture that I don't think I saw. Did I see this picture? I may have seen this photo. So Wade Grant, who is part of the Musqueam Nation, he posted this. He says, apparently, at People magazine published a piece on Prince Harry's visit to our family's longhouse. Here is my father asking Prince Harry to advocate for him to be People's next sexiest man alive. I love his humor. I love his humor. Of course, that's not what Prince Harry is doing, but who knows? Maybe that's what his dad wants. He wants to be the next people's sexiest man alive. So hey, Harry has an in, so I don't blame him if that's what he's doing. You go for it, man. Shoot your shot. So yeah, so this is a little bit of Wade Grant over there. It says they're a member of Musqueam Indian band and also seeking Liberal nomination for Vancouver. So he's a politician as well, as part of the Musqueam Nation. So it just I love it. I absolutely love it. I love his sense of humor. But hey, he could be the sexiest man alive, and Harry is the perfect person to advocate for him. So there you go. I just love it. So staying in the First Nations in Canada a little bit, talking about that, standoff as Canada Yukon Town Council refuses to swear oath to King Charles. So here are some clips from the article. It says the council of a town in Canada's Yukon territory has been locked for weeks in bureaucratic standstill after its members refused to swear a mandatory oath of allegiance to King Charles, citing the Crown's tarnished relationship or the Crown's tarnished relations with Indigenous peoples in the region. The standoff, which threatens to cost them their seat, reflects a complicated view of the country's head of state, who lives thousands of miles away and increasingly serves as a reminder of a history of violence and broken promises. Under Yukon's Municipal Act, and these are just a couple of other clips, under Yukon's municipal acts, elected officials are required to take the oath of allegiance and an oath of office. Shortly after the incoming council was due to take office, Councillor-elect Darwin Lynn, a member of the Trandek Hwechin First Nations, told the colleagues he was uncomfortable pledging the allegiance to the Crown due to its troubled history with Indigenous peoples. Councillors took the oath of office on the 5th of November, but have refused to swear or affirm that they will be faithful and bear allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III and his heirs and successors according to the law. The territory governors say it is considering alternative options around the oath to ensure all council members feel included and respected within the governance structure while still complying with legislative requirements. And so this is a big issue because they, while they try to come up with this new way to get around the swearing allegiance to King Charles, if they haven't figured out something by, I think, December 3rd or 4th, something like that, I think that's a date where it's the last day for them to do that swearing in thing. If they haven't figured out something by then, these council members can lose their seats. And so this is a big issue that, they don't want to swear allegiance to this person that, as they say, lives thousands of miles away and they have such a bad history with the First Nations there. And it's just like, they're like, we don't want to do that. And again, it's time to abolish this monarchy. Nobody should have to do that. The same problem, the same thing that's going on in New Zealand right now, the same thing in Australia. People are tired of this nonsense and they want it over. They want the monarchy gone from their lives. And again, look, you can be queening and kinging if you want, but leave other people alone. They don't want to be a participant and have to swear allegiance to people that they, who have done all this horrible stuff to them. And they shouldn't have to. This is the year 2024. And so I don't blame them. So I hope they figure out something the way that these councillors don't lose or forfeit their seats and that they can be able to serve in the way, they are elected officials and it's ridiculous that elected officials have to go through this nonsense in swearing allegiance to somebody who is unelected. I mean, it just it's ridiculous. It is utterly ridiculous that this is still in play. So hopefully, they're able to figure out something. They're not there like beating their chest, like, yeah, we will not surrender. There's nothing like that. But it's just that they just have for them morally, that's just completely something that is against their conscience, especially what was done to their ancestors. And it's in so many ways, they're still bearing the brunt of that. And it's so unjust that they have to go swearing allegiance to this dude, this unelected dude that nobody asked for. So yeah, but kudos to them for standing up. And it's just weird. It's like Harry have such a different relationship with the First Nations, as we've been talking about the last few days. Like, he was visiting 3 of them who are part of Invictus and who are going to be part of bringing Invictus to in Vancouver and Whistler. Such a different relationships that they have with Prince Harry, and built out of mutual respect and love and just caring and empathy. So different. So yeah, but very interesting. And it's just wild that it's all happening around the same time. What else is happening? Royal nonsense as usual. Telegraph and other news outlets have no shame in reporting this mess. The Queen has been presented with an honorary doctorate, I kid you not, by her sister-in-law, I kid you not. The Princess Royal, in recognition of her personal mission to promote literacy. The pair traveled together from St. James Palace to Senate House in Bloomsbury, central London, for a rare joint engagement. The Princess Royal 74, as Chancellor of the University of London. How exactly did Princess Anne get this role as Chancellor of a university? I have to come back to that another time, but for the sake of this, the Princess Royal 74, as Chancellor of the University of London, presented the Queen 77 with an honorary doctorate of literature in recognition of her many years of championing literacy. A voracious reader, she established an online book club in January 2021 after receiving an overwhelming response to recommended reading lists she posted on Instagram during lockdown. The initiative, which celebrates books and authors from all over the world, later became the Queen's Reading Room charity and has grown into a global community in which book lovers can engage and debate. She was joined by 4 others recognized for their exceptional contribution to society. What did the others do? Drink water, go swimming? What did the others do to get their doctorate? I'm just curious. Because she gets an honorary doctorate for establishing an online book club. Well, wait a minute. I have an online book club that I haven't been doing. I started it, and then sort of like, not many people were that engaged, so I sort of like just let it rest there for a minute. So maybe I should just re-up that and just start that again, because I too can be in line for an honorary doctorate from the University of London for my online book club. I need to start that up again, and I need to contact the University of London to let them know about that. And so for doing her online book club on Instagram and got really overwhelming response, she now has a reading room. And I think it's something like she has like a podcast thing that she doesn't even do. Another person is the one that runs the podcast. She pops in there, I guess, every now and then. And for that little bit of thing, she now received an honorary doctorate for promoting literacy, given to her by her sister-in-law, Princess Anne, who, again, how did she become Chancellor of a university again? I would love to know these things. But there is Camilla sitting there with her doctorate thingy around her neck, looking as pleased as a punch. And it's just like, it defies words. I'm like, I just can't. And I started thinking of like, How would I respond if I was sitting there paying to go to the University of London, and then this woman who, just because she has a queen title and started an online book club on Instagram and has a reading room, stuff that she very rarely somebody else is running, and she gets a doctorate, an honorary doctorate, I'm like, and so I was just like, well, let me see what the tuition is for the University of London. London, people are going through cost of living crisis right now, of which we remember the royal family has been fleecing the British public out of money. And these poor people in the UK have to come up with 15,000 or 12,000 a year. And if you're a foreigner coming in, like if I were to go, I'd be 20,000 a year. Have to come up with all this money to go to university for a year. And this woman, all she had to do was start an online book club. And she gets an honorary doctorate. And I'm like, wait a minute. I wonder what these students are thinking. Because again, in addition to their fee that they're going to be paying, you have to pay for housing, as it says, housing, transport, meals, materials for school, books, computers, all of this stuff they have to pay for. Yet this woman, all she had to do was start an online book club on Instagram, and you're thinking, what? And so the British press have no shame with this stuff. This is Rebecca English promoting it. New and with the crown, Queen Camilla is tonight being awarded a very special educational honor by her sister-in-law, Princess Anne. Did Camilla ever go to college? I wonder. I don't know. I don't think so. Her Majesty is due to be given an honorary doctorate of literature by the University of London, whose chancellor is Princess Anne. Victoria Ward at the bottom there. It's not often a royal honors another royal, other than when they're giving them all of these fake titles. Yeah, other than all of those times, no, I guess it's not often. Tonight, Princess Anne and the Queen are carrying out a rare engagement, as Anne, as Chancellor of the University of London, presents her sister-in-law with an honorary doctorate of literature. With no shame at all, these people reporting this nonsense. They have to leave it up to Chris Ship. Chris Ship with his snide humor. Hey, sister-in-law, welcome to the university for which I am Chancellor. Here, take this honorary doctorate. Well, at least somebody see the ridiculousness of this, and somebody in the UK press have enough, not that he does have much of it, but whatever little integrity Chris Ship has left, he can see the ridiculousness of this. And again, how did Princess Anne become the chancellor of a university? Like, what? Like, did she go there? Like, I mean, I don't even know what their educational history is. I know Charles went to university. Did she go to the University of London? Like, what? How did she become chancellor? What is she? It's amazing to me. And then having no shame at all to be giving an honorary doctorate to her sister-in-law who started an Instagram reading club. And yeah, she's a voracious reader. Well, so am I. I read all the time. I talk about the books I read all the time. So a lot of people. They read a lot. And they've done so much more. Yet Camilla gets an honorary doctorate. And part of her reading thing was something she did with a tabloid Sun. Who knows what the tabloid Sun was, hiding for her. So they used the reading stuff, the same as Kate did with that baby bang thing for the Sun. It's just so ridiculous. So here I am in the uncomfortable position of saying, yeah, Chris Ship, at least you see the ridiculousness of this nonsense. I mean, it's just craziness. Anyways, moving on from that nonsense, finally, off to something much more pleasant. I mentioned this yesterday. the founder of Lemonada did this interview with, and I'd never heard of this outlet before, MPLS St. Paul, because that's where she is. And she did this interview talking about Meghan and her team bringing archetypes over to Lemonada. And so this is a little bit about the article. And then, of course, it's a very long article. I'll put it in our community page so you can read it, all about Lemonada and the different podcasts that are there. But so there's a little bit about her and then a little bit about Meghan. It says, in conversation with Jessica Cordova Kramer, one of the most influential executives in podcasting, lives in Minneapolis. Jessica Cordova Kramer is the founder of Lemonada Media, a modestly sized but mighty podcast network that she launched out of Minneapolis in 2019. Lemonada boasts a roster of more than 60 shows, ranging from deeply reported narrative-based series with social justice bent like Blind P to smartly concepted yet chatty podcasts hosted by celebrities like Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Wiser Than Me, and David Duchovny's Fail Better. And so this is a little bit about her. And then this is what she said about Meghan and the process of getting archetypes over to Lemonada. And it says the interviewer asked her, and it was a little bit snarky in this question, but she says, but aren't the celebrity-hosted podcasts expensive in their own way? Meghan Markle, for instance, was paid millions for a deal with Spotify and only produced a couple of shows. How do you decide which celeb podcast will be successful? And this is her answer. She says, I don't know anything other than what's been in the news, which has been all over the place. I don't know what those deals were. All I know is the reporting seems endless, and I am not sure any of it is accurate. Meghan had already left Spotify when her team came to us because they wanted to be able to democratize archetypes, and they wanted to trust a company who would do that for them. She has been a dream to work with. There was not one stumbling block in taking that podcast, including with Spotify. Spotify was incredible. Meghan's team was incredible. And we make archetypes available on all platforms. And it shot up the charts organically. It was really cool to see people be able to hear what I think was a lot of hard work that went into that season. Some really cool guests and some really interesting topics. And so that's what she said about Meghan and getting the podcast from Spotify, how everyone around getting that Spotify, whether it was Meghan and her team and also the people at Spotify, there was no stumbling blocks. Everyone was so great. And then you compare that with the narrative that was out there when this whole thing broke about Meghan and Spotify parting ways. And as Meghan and Harry said when this all happened, they said it was a mutual parting of the ways. There was no problem. Whomever it was that leaked all that stuff and caused all that drama, I don't know if someone will ever out what happened there and who did that. I hope in some way, shape, or form, Meghan or somebody talk about it and let it be known. But when you listen to what Jessica said, it's like Meghan and her team, she said, like, working with Meghan has been a dream. Her team was incredible. The Spotify team was incredible. Everyone were working together to get the podcast from their platform over to another person's platform and did it in such a great and amicable way. And again, it just really calls into question all that narrative that was going on about all this supposed bad blood between Spotify and Meghan. And so it's just, as she said, she's like, I'm not sure any of that stuff was true. And so for her to say that, I mean, I think she knows more than she will say. Obviously, it's not her story to tell. So I understand why she wouldn't get deeper into it. But I really, really I mean, I would love to know what happened there and why that happened and who it is that caused all that drama. So anyway, thank you, Jessica, for clearing that up. And again, if you have not listened to Archetypes, go over to Lemonada, click on it. You can listen to wherever they are, provided that you can listen to it wherever you listen to your podcast. So yeah, awesome. As she says, awesome and interesting topics, really cool guests. Really, Meghan and her team did such a great job putting Archetypes together. And I'm glad that people all over can listen to it. And as she says, it's, you know, the new audience from Lemonada, it just organically built, and you know, it's probably one of their top podcasts. So kudos to Meghan, and such a great choice, again, choosing to work with female entrepreneurs, female businesswomen, female that are doing great things. It's really great for her putting her platform there. So yeah, I hope that there will be another season of Archetypes, or maybe another, calling it another name, whatever, but it would be really, really cool to hear from Meghan and to hear what else she's up to. So anyway, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to our awesome moderators, Lydia, Church, Nelly, Karen, M, Cookies and Cream, Black Queen. You are awesome as usual. Thank you to our wonderful 2 Cents crew who support the channel on a monthly basis. I appreciate you so much. And to all of you who support in the chat as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Have a fantastic day. And I will chat with you all next time. Bye, everyone.